Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about the BLU Advance 4.0 L3. The reason why I slowed down there is because it's an interesting name. It's a budget phone from BLU that normally sells for about $50 or so on Amazon, but during Prime Day in the middle of July, Amazon had this guy for $36. So I picked it up, wanted to see how it stacks up in the middle of 2017. Does it have all the things for it to be able to basically handle your daily activity? Or is it too much of a budget device that you shouldn't even bother with it? Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the information on the giveaway that I'm going to be doing for this device to one of you guys. So like and subscribe, make sure you're following the channel. Let's go ahead and dig into the BLU Advance 4.0 L3. Looking at the box, it's a pretty simple box. It's actually pretty small. The display on this device, let's go ahead and look at the specs. We have a 4-inch display. It's a 480 by 800 basically resolution. It's a quad-core MediaTek 1.2 gigahertz processor. We have a 3.2 megapixel main shooter in the back capable of 720p video at 30 frames per second, of course, and a 2 megapixel front-facing selfie camera for selfie pictures, I guess. 1300 milliamp battery, a little bit on the small side, but again, it's a 4-inch display with a 480 by 800, so we're not looking at a massive demand on power. We don't have LTE, but we do have 4G HSPA+, which is up to 21 megabits down, and it's actually pretty reasonable for considering the fact that, 21 megabits, it's actually average even when you have LTE. Up to 32 gigabytes of an expandable storage. We do have 4 gigabytes of internal storage already. We can expand with an additional 32 gigabyte SD card and Android 6.0. And what they don't show here, it's also a dual SIM device. Opening the box, we're greeted with the device right out there. We have pretty much the same information. To repeat it one more time. Looking at the display, we have a 4-inch display, 480 by 800 display. Again, the 2 megapixel front-facing camera, capacitive buttons for home, recent, and back. Left side, we have nothing. On the back, we have the 3.2 megapixel camera, capable of providing us with 720 video, 30 frames per second. Of course, we have the LED flash, which is nice at this price. Volume rocker, power button on the right side. On the bottom, we have one microphone. On the top, 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as the micro USB charging port. So this is USB 2.0, no USB 3.0 support, of course. Now, opening up the device is something that you have to actually kind of try to figure out. There's a little bit of like a thumb area here where you have to kind of wedge your fingers, your nail between the two, and then pop it open. So removing the back, we're pretty much greeted with the placement of where the battery needs to go, the dual SIM, as well as the micro SD card. So the SD card will go on the left, the dual SIMs go in here. There's SIM 1 and SIM 2. We do need to remove this little plastic as it covers actually the lens in the back. Looking through the rest of the box, we do have some instruction manual on how to be able to insert the SIM cards. Of course, the book. The battery, as I mentioned to you guys in the beginning, it's a 1300 milliamp battery, so it's pretty much just going to be good enough for this device. We do have a separate cable from a wall wart. So this is the charger, US style charger, micro USB to USB Type A. It does have the BLU branding on it. It looks like it's 5 volt at 0.7 amps, so it's very low voltage, but again, the device doesn't really need that much. And then last but not least, which we also get, which is interesting, a lot of these budget phones do come with these, is we do get an additional screen protector for the device, as well as a silicone-based case. So out of the box, you're pretty much set. For $36, this is a really good deal. Went ahead to put in the battery, putting the case, it's more of a snap-on than actually anything else, and it fits pretty nice and flush. And then we can use the TPU case that comes with it. Of course, there's going to be other cases that you guys can pick up, but this is pretty much what we get. It looks like there's a little bit of an opening, but let's power it on for the first time. Just for comparison's sake, I know it's not exactly in the same ballpark, but let's go and unlock here. This is the Honor 6X. Now, the Honor 6S is a mid-range budget phone because it actually has a little bit more horsepower, and it's a 5.5-inch display. Now, I just want to show you guys kind of a comparison. So this is the Honor 6X. This is the BLU Advance 4.0 L3. It's a 4-inch display. You just have to remember it's a small display, but it still fits nicely in the hand. You can reach the top, you can do things with it, and it is Android 6.0 out of the box and should be a pretty close to stock experience. I went through and I added my account. There is a welcome widget right here, which is going to say got it. So it's going to take us through the process of going through and seeing what we have. I do want to mention though that there is a software update that came through right as soon as I turned on the device and logged into a Wi-Fi network. Out of the box, it looks like there is some updates coming through, but it does have Android 6.0. So let's go ahead and scroll all the way down to the bottom and go about device. And we'll go Android version is 6.0. Security patch is as of December of 2016. It's not that bad. Actually, it's not that long. So hopefully this update that we have will fix it. And then, of course, we can go to wireless update and then I can say resume here, and it's going to start downloading it again. It's at 7%. Overall, as far as the interface, it looks pretty simple. We do have an app drawer. The apps are installed, so we have most of the Google Play applications. We have Opera installed, Gallery. We do have an FM radio. That's something, again, at that price point, I'm surprised at this point. I guess I've had the bar set so low at that point because of $36, but again, it's pretty good. We do have a camera. The dialer is in here, so there's going to be, obviously you can make calls, receive, standard Android dialer. We do have Blue Help installed, and let's see what about Google Services, Chrome. Again, looks like we also have the ability of clear notifications, so it's not pure stock. They do have some customizations, and then we have the ability of turning on power saving, and of course we have the settings, the time, the date, and the user. Going into settings, looking over just the beginning, we have Wi-Fi. We do have Wi-Fi, we have Bluetooth, we have SIM card. We don't have a fingerprint sensor, and we do not have NFC, I think. Let me double check. Yep. No NFC support, but we do have HSPA Plus SIM card support between 1 and 2. You can install and manage them under SIM cards. We have display, of course. We have the ability of customizing Daydream on, font size. When the device is rotated, the brightness level, you can control it here. I'm actually bringing it all the way. I just have it as bright as I can. I do want to mention, though, just as a heads up, from working with this right now, and I'm actually at an angle where you guys are looking straight at the display, there is a little bit of a washout because this is not an OLED display. I think this is a TFT display. Sound notification apps, storage. Let's look at what we have out of the box. Okay, so 2.29 used out of 4 gigs. So we actually barely have a gig left. Not a lot. It's 1.7 available, so that's not a lot. System memory, we have 2.12. So overall, you're going to need to put in an SD card. There's not much you could do. And again, I haven't done anything with this other than turning it on. Battery wise, I did charge it, and it says it's 97%. It's going to be discharging. Let me see here. Can we add battery optimizations? We do have some options here to save battery. Location, security. We do have GPS and a GPS on this. Account, Google, language setup, backup, all the different things you'd expect. I think overall, really software-wise, it's pretty decent. Looking at the camera interface, just want to show you guys, we do have panoramic pictures, so we can go into panoramic mode. We can go to normal mode. You can just unselect it, take normal. And you can also, of course, go to beauty or beauty face option. We have flash. We have the ability of switching between front-facing and back-facing camera. You guys are. And it looks like the camera and the video shutter are in the same place. Going into settings, we do have the ability of turning off the shutter sound, the photo grid, volume key will take a picture. Saving it right now is to internal storage. Anti-banding, it's turned on to auto. White balance is turned on to automatic. And then when we go into the picture, freeze frame, display, zero shutter delay, we're going to be able to see how fast we can use those. Picture size, it's a 4x2, 4x3 at 3.2, and if you want to, the 16:9 is at 2.1, so we lose some megapixels. I am going to keep it at the 4x2, 4x3 just to get the best one. Super fine, scene mode, it's going to be automatic since we'll go into exposure. Again, I'll keep that as automatic. Brightness is level 3, we'll keep that there. Let's go here, and then we can go to ISO. So you notice I have opened up the secondary menu, and I'm able to actually jump between the other ones without having to forget it. And then metering is center metered. For average, beauty level is medium. Wow, beauty level is turned on by default, so I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna keep it real. Video quality 720p HD, as I mentioned to you guys, that's the maximum resolution on the back camera. H.264 is the encoding standard again. Landscape slow motion we do, and we have that in off, and I'm assuming that drops the frame rate even lower as far as the resolution. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the selfie mode and take a video and show you guys how it looks like on the front-facing camera and the back-facing camera. So this is a front-facing camera using the BLU Advance 4.0 L3. I'm using no stabilization, no optical setup. I'm not sure if the beauty factor is turned on or if it actually even works in video, but again, this is a front-facing camera. Video, just showing the quality of the video. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the back camera, and we'll see how this is going to go. Now, keep in mind, I am showing you this video on a 1080p 60 frames per second, so there's going to be some upscaling going in there, and I'm going to try to keep this as clear as possible. So now I'm using the 3.2 megapixel back-facing camera, and I'm trying to do a video here. Again, this is just an example of a video 720p quality out of the 3.2 megapixel in the back. The front one's a 2 megapixel camera, but again, quality should be the best out of this camera, and I hope I'm centered, as I can't really see myself talking through this. So yeah, I hope you guys will see this. Again, the video is going to be upscaled to 1080p at 60 frames per second. I'm going to try to keep it just as much as possible, but this should be a good example. So overall, looking at this on the screen, it doesn't actually look that bad, but I have to actually look at it on the PC. The one thing I want to mention is the camera shutter is extremely slow. So I mean, kind of snapping a picture. So if we snap a picture, there's that big delay. It freezes the camera settings here, and then it takes the picture. And again, it's one of those things that you have to keep in mind. It's just, it's a 3.2 megapixel camera. So I'm going to go here, and let's go ahead and launch the last video I launched. I'm going to go to the landscape, see how that's going to come up.
So hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about the Gemini speakers. The Gemini
Gemini speakers are a Kickstarter campaign that's currently going, and it's really trying to bring a new, unique experience out of speakers. So the only option I can go to here is 480p, which essentially would be basically the maximum resolution. Again, you can scroll down, the interface is pretty much the same. You still have the smaller screen here. You can go to videos. So this is the volume at 100%. So one thing I wanted to show you guys again is a little bit of a transparency. So once the screen goes sideways, it becomes very washed out. I mean, you can still see it, but the viewing angles are best when it's dead on. Not bad. Considering the fact of what we get, I think it's pretty decent. Okay. So overall, not a bad device. For $36, we have Wi-Fi, we have the ability to use Bluetooth. Again, we can expand the storage on this. It does only come with 4 gigs of internal storage, which is about 1.7 left for us to use. It only has half a gig of RAM, so multitasking is not going to be the best on the market, but again, as long as you close out the applications in the background, you should be able to run it pretty decently. Again, 36 bucks, really can't shake anything at it. It's a great dual SIM unlock device that you could use with any carrier that supports SIM cards. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe as usual. And regarding the giveaway, I know I told you guys at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be giving this guy away. And it's pretty simple. I'm going to be putting in a 2-week timeline from the point that this video goes live. So the day that goes live, you'll see a gleam.io link in this video, and it'll have an end date for you guys. And it's pretty simple. Like the video, comment on the video, please, and then follow the instruction. Make sure you guys are subscribed, and that's pretty much it. Good luck. Hope you guys win. And this is an international giveaway, so anywhere in the world, as long as you guys meet the requirements when I pull the name at the end of the 2-week period, you guys are the winner. So like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.